Good evening, everyone. I hope everybody had a fruitful and successful day here at the Capacity Building Hub. Yeah? Good. Yeah? I know it's late, but my name is Crispin, and I am a member of the Paris Committee on Capacity Building, PCCB. The focus of today's events has been capacity building efforts through nature-based solutions for effective stewardship of oceans and land. Today, organizations like Conservation International explored indigenous experiences to show the need and value in building capacities through mainstreaming indigenous people's knowledge and local community knowledge in climate action. FAO also presented tools such as the X-Act tool, which assists monitoring and mainstreaming in developing AFOLO measures in NDCs, while also acknowledging the need to bridge science, policy, and implementation. The UNFCCC Farmers Constituency presented a global farmers market which allowed farmers from around the world to share their experiences with building capacities and adapting to climate change. On the other hand, the Division of Ocean Affairs and the Law of the Sea, Office of Legal Affairs of the United Nations, discussed ocean governance and stressed the importance of collaboration from the international, regional, and local levels, particularly by valuing local and indigenous knowledge sources. This idea was highlighted by MTU in the event focused on the importance of using local knowledge to inform climate science. IUCN brought together a range of organizations to present success stories in nature-based solutions, such as the innovative greenery infrastructure approach, highlighting the need for a standardized approach to these solutions for effective adaptation and capacity building efforts. Peace Boat, the YNA, and the Ocean Hub Africa came together to highlight the power of storytelling around the globe in capacity building, particularly when connecting large ocean states. Finally, we had a very interesting theater performance on Lale Olwanle, Listen to the Sea, by the One Ocean Hub, which brought attention to the spiritual, cultural, and scientific understanding of the ocean. So right now, I will pass to my PCCB colleague, Renilda. Renilda, you have the mic, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah. After this smart sketch, it is very interesting this evening. I hope everyone has had a fruitful and successful day here at Capacity Building Hub. My name is Renilde Ndaishimiye, and I am a member of the Paris Committee on Capacity Building. Before I hand it over to IUCN for a more detailed overview, I want to quickly recall what the Paris Committee on Capacity Building is and does. Established at COP21 in 2015, the PCCB seeks to address current and emerging gaps and need in implementing and further enhancing capacity building in developing countries. You can understand, for example, NDC implementation, and so on, carbon market, everything. To support the PCCB mission and mandate, the committee launched the PCCB network in 2020 as a voluntary association of interested stakeholders and engaged in climate-related capacity building. It is also our occasion to call upon all institutions, NGOs, all academia sector who have best practice in capacity building on climate change to join PCCB network. The PCCB regularly mobilizes the expertise of its network members at the regional level through PCCB side events at the UNFCCC Regional Climate Weeks, which is very interesting, through regular webinar and events through the year, but also at the international level through the capacity building hub at the COP like this. The capacity building hub is a mandated event of PCCB and take place each year at COP, with this year as the fourth hub to take place. Its objective ultimately is to showcase the variety of capacity building efforts which have taken place over the year by sharing information, experiences, and technical capacities to further climate action on a larger scale. To learn more about the PCCB and its network, make sure to check out the 2 banners with QR code that will redirect you to a web page which will give you more information. But for now, I would like to hand over to IUCN representative to give us an overview of all that we had today. I think you have been seen is too much. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Stuart McGuinness. I'm Deputy Director General of IUCN. I won't keep you too much longer because I think it's been a very long day, but I just want to say what a fantastic set of sessions and what a brilliant ending with amphitheatre. So thank you very much. I'd also like to thank the Paris Committee for capacity building, for creating this space, for sharing, and for actually establishing a land and ocean dialogue for COP27. I think IUCN feels privileged to have been chair and a lead partner in this process. Now, today we've heard about a wide range of perspectives and presentations. Really have gone from locally led actions to integrated ocean and climate governance. We've heard narrative. We've heard perspectives from agriculture, from technical innovation, and also traditional knowledge and how that actually all comes together. There's been a green thread that's ran its way through all that, and that's around nature-based solutions. And I could ask, well, why is that? And I'd say it's nature-based solutions really are integrative. They solve a series of problems at once. I think part of our challenge has been that for the last 40, 50 years, we've taken these very narrow, very sectoral approaches, trying to solve one problem at a time. But in solving one problem at a time, again, and I think that as we heard in this fantastic theatre presentation, we also create a whole load of problems as well. Nature-based solutions actually has the option of addressing several problems at once. And why is that? It's because we're working with the power, working with the potential that nature actually brings. We can deal with climate adaptation, a resilience of livelihoods, restoring ecosystems, and climate mitigation all at once. And it works because it builds synergies across different sectors. We've also heard that it actually it also complements other approaches. And we heard that today with these grey-green examples from the experience on the field. I think the other thing that's really important is that nature-based solutions is a high-integrity framework, and this is actually really important. That it is framed. There's an agreed framework, definition of what nature-based solutions is, and it's also actually underpinned by a set of standards that my organisation worked with a range of stakeholders, 800 experts across the world, to put in place to give something that was robust and scientific and science-led as an operational framework. I think one thing, though, that's very important for us, though, And I think, and again, I'll come back to what we saw in that in this last theatre presentation, is I think we as a community need to get bolder in calling out what is nature-based solutions and what is not nature-based solutions. So, for example, an ocean-based geoengineering solution that seeks to increase the amount of absorption of CO2 in the ocean, that increases ocean acidity, that impacts ocean biodiversity, is not a nature-based solution. Call it something else, but it is not a nature-based solution. We need to call that out. Let me give you a couple of other examples as well, if I can find my notes. A land-based project that risks local food security by displacing agriculture with carbon sequestering plantations is not a nature-based solution. Call it something else. It is not a high-integrity solution that relies on ecosystem functions to deliver multiple benefits. So call it something else, but it's not a nature-based solution. Finally, an intervention that undermines the rights of local communities, undermines the agency of local communities, is not a nature-based solution. It's something else. We have got a clear definition of what nature-based solutions are. There is a set of standards about what nature-based solutions should do, and all those examples I have given don't meet up. They don't meet that level. So let's call them something else. Call them crap, if you want. But they are not nature-based solutions, and we need to be bold as a community now to be able to say, this is what is a nature-based solution, and this is what's not. Now, I think one other thing, and I'll just wrap up then, is I think we've got a great opportunity at this COP to see nature-based solutions actually recognised in the formal decision. And why is that important? That means it gives us a frame of reference. It allows us to actually start to unleash all the potential that we have heard about today. And that is why I would really encourage you, when you speak to delegates, when you lobby them, if you are in a delegation, really advocate that we start to see nature-based solutions in there. We want to see, this gives us an opportunity to get that integrity in there so that we can see the opportunities that nature can deliver for both adaptation, for mitigation, for the resilience of local livelihoods, that it can now be framed in a way that actually we can scrutinise and that we can advance forward. 30% of the solution for adaptation, for mitigation, could lie in high integrity options that we call nature-based solutions. So we've got to take this moment, we've got to lobby the delegates to say, let us see nature-based solutions in there, and then we can move forward. Final thing I'll just mention is in 2 days' time, thanks to the Egyptian presidency, we will launch a framework, a partnership framework for both state and non-state actors called ENACT, Enhancing Nature-Based Solutions for Accelerating Climate Transformation. And I would really, there will be a series of events around that. I would really encourage you, get aligned to it. Everybody can contribute. It is for, as I say, it's for state, non-state actors. We want to be able to mobilize this to really demonstrate the power that nature-based solutions can deliver to addressing this climate challenge and to address it starting today. So with that, I would say, I see you've got a question. Would you like to answer? Would you like to ask?
How was the framework developed, I suppose? What process and which stakeholders were involved in developing the framework is my question.
Thanks, that's a very good question. So the Egyptian presidency said that what they would like to do is that they wanted to run a number of partnerships in parallel to the formal negotiations. There's one on water, there's another on agriculture, and they asked IUCN, how we'd like to do something around nature. So we worked together, say, let's put something on nature-based solutions. We ran a consultation in the run-up to the launch. It was virtual so that people could participate. And we put out an idea there and said, could we get some feedback on that? I think one of the other things that we've tried to do is actually build in a lot of the discussion around nature-based solutions that has happened before. Like, for example, the whole process we ran with about 800 stakeholders, including Indigenous peoples, including different stakeholders from different countries to establish the global standard. So what we want to do is, again, as I keep saying, nature-based solutions advantage is its high integrity. It doesn't allow the undermining of rights. It doesn't allow the diminishing of biodiversity. It doesn't accept trading off one solution against another so that you end up creating another problem. So that's where we've actually built it from. But I would say what will make ENACT really worthwhile is by getting as many partners on as possible. It's open to NGOs, it's open to municipalities, it's open to state. So, and there's a form on the Egyptian presidency website. Fill that in. Say that you'd like to be part of that, and to say what we want to do is we want to take this forward. We've spoken actually. One other thing I'll just say with the ENACT, we're also looking. I said nature-based solutions is integrative. In a month's time, or less than a month's time, there will be a negotiation in Montreal about the Global Biodiversity Framework. There's also the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. These things all need to be linked up. And in fact, that's one of the things that we've been doing with nature-based solutions, is really working to make sure that we get that integration with desertification, with biodiversity, and with climate change. So with that, I would say thank you very much for all the contributions today. I found it really inspiring, and I think we can do this. I think there is, I mean, in one way, maybe just to come back to the conclusion of the theatre piece. Yes, there's an awful lot of bad things happening, but I think tapping into the power of nature and tapping into the knowledge of a diverse community will actually really give us the opportunities to move forward. So thank you very much.
Thank you. So, tomorrow is set to be the 6th day of the Hub, under the theme of Building Capacities with Action for Climate Empowerment, or ACE Day. And we hope to see you all there. The lead partners, Climates, together with other organizations, will deliver events which will explore capacity building efforts in mobilizing all of society for inclusive climate. We would like to once again express heartfelt thanks to our lead organizer for today, IUCN, for the efforts in planning and presenting the day's events. Thank you all for being here, and have a great evening. Thank you.